Alright, welcome guys to another episode of Rig Check. Today we are in beautiful Moab, Utah, cruising around the trails with this incredible 2023 Toyota Sequoia. We have Ben with us from Dissent Offroad. He's the owner of the truck. He's responsible for creating this absolute beast. So right off the bat, I mean, this is something that's first in its kind. I mean, Sequoia is a new platform for Toyota. There's nothing that's been built like this. This is probably the world's first. Is that right?
Yeah, I've not seen another one yet built out this hardcore. We've seen some very mild builds, but...
So Ben specializes in outfitting Land Cruisers, GXs, a lot of Toyota platforms. So this is a new platform for a new generation of this, was it third generation for Sequoia? Let's just jump right in. So what do we have here in the front?
So this is a prototype Dissent Offroad bumper. This one's actually been a little bit tricky. We got a lot of technology in the front. We got our radar, we got our cameras, we got our parking sensors. So that's kind of the biggest thing we're testing right now. That really sets where that bumper can go.
Being a new truck, I can see there's a lot of constraints going on. I mean, you got your sensor, you got your grill. I mean, what are some of the parameters, some of the constraints that you guys have to work on to make this work?
Yeah, so biggest constraint's going to be the radar sensor here and that front camera. So okay. Ideally, we'd like to bring that bumper up a little higher, but can't really do that without blocking that or trying to relocate it. Then you got a lot of programming that needs to be done to make that work.
And that sensor is responsible for adaptive cruise control?
Adaptive braking. Everything connects and communicates together. So now all that communicates with these parking sensors.
Okay.
Everything has to be in place for one of the items to work.
For sure. Okay, so some of the things besides being a strong bumper, you got a place for a winch, light bar, and I see you got some fog lights.
Yeah, we got rigid fog lights. We got an SAE 30-inch bar. We're trying out the new come up solo 12.5 winch in there.
Okay.
So we tucked that in there. It's tucked in there nice and tight. We got access to our clutch.
Okay.
Agent C6 flat link on the winch there.
Okay. Is there something that kind of transitions into what's underneath the truck?
It does, yeah. Being that this is a little bit lower, the transition is a bit flatter. But we do have a full prototype skid set that goes all the way from the front bumper back.
Okay.
Ties in. We also cover the gas tank is kind of the lowest hanging item underneath, so we got a skid on that as well.
So pretty much underneath the truck, everything's protected.
Yes.
Okay. And again, prototype parts, this is something new platform. Is this something that you're planning on releasing into the market, or is this more like a custom one-off?
We hope so, yeah, as long as the market looks like people are going to be able to get them and build them, we hope to be able to release them. We're typically a little slower to market because we do like to get out and put everything through its paces, beat it up, make sure it's gonna hold up to our customers' uses.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so far it looks like it's been putting in some work. I see you got some character marks on the bumper.
Yep. Yeah, we've hit just about everything we can so far. We've pointed at all the hard obstacles that we can find and drag it on the rocks.
Absolutely. Does this truck come with factory rockers or anything like that?
It comes with a factory, kind of a heavy-duty step, which is actually fairly solid. It's cast aluminum.
Okay.
There's a side molding trim that actually drops about to where this slider is now, and then you got the step below that. So we actually removed the entire trim, brought that slider up, gained about 4 inches from factory.
Okay.
But the thing about these is we actually are trying out a body mount aluminum slider.
Body mount aluminum slider. So let's go over that. Typically sliders are mounted directly to the frame. That's what's kind of the norm in the industry.
Yep.
Okay. And the reason why connected them to the body?
Yeah, so on this one we got a nice, really a flat plane across that hole underneath. It's hard to tell, you can't really see here. And we got multiple bolt points. So this actually ties in, we got a boat side underneath. Okay. We're able to tuck it up real high. And then one of the tricks there is basically we got a flange on this tread plate that runs all the way underneath this cover plate and distributes the load across that whole rocker right near the pinch weld. Okay. So that's what's making the rocker itself is actually pretty solid. So as long as we can distribute the load across the entire rocker, it's proven to be pretty sturdy so far. Okay.
I see you got some sort of traction kind of finish going on top.
Yeah, we use it's called a super grip powder coat. So it's basically like a grip tape, but it's a powder coat. So we apply it the same way we do any powder coating, and it lasts a good bit more than a grip tape would.
Okay, so obviously great for just like a footstep.
Yep.
Slip resistant.
You know, it was working good too because I was walking around on it all day.
Yeah.
Standing on that thing.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it feels good. I have the same ones on my 200 series, and yeah, I'll vouch for it. All right, moving on to the back. We got a lot going on here. It's a dual swing out bumper. I can tell there's a lot of design features and some of the details have been borrowed from your previous builds. What makes this bumper different? What makes this one unique than your other builds?
Yeah, so lots of tech back here. She's got a big butt, so we got a
big booty.
Very bulbous tailgate. I actually lost the tailgate. We got a hatch now. So that was the trickiest part. We had to push the bumper quite a bit further out than we would like to, just to fit the swing arms with the tailgate here. But again, the swing arms are the same. Standard tire carrier. Again, across all of our bumpers, we got a table on there.
So this table, this is a cool feature.
Yeah,
I have the same thing on the Land Cruiser or Corporate Cruiser. This is a nice addition, just a nice platform. You know, easy setup. Doesn't take much. Nothing needs to be pulled out. Just boom, set up and go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then again we had parking sensors in the back. We got blind spot monitors here that were actually down in the bumper, so we've relocated those. Had to play with angles, position, make sure they still function, and so far they seem to be functioning.
So they're in those caps, or is that a quarter panel?
Right here, yeah.
Okay, wow. So again, going back to constraints, a lot more than just bolting up a bumper.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually the cross member does not give us any factory bolting point, so the whole bumper is literally clamped around the cross member.
Okay.
We got clamp brackets for the side wings. There's maybe a couple bolts that actually bolt into the cross member itself. Most of it's clamped on there.
Okay. So I see you got your factory hitch, the camera. So that's been obviously relocated from the tailgate?
Yep, yeah, from the tailgate. So this is similar to where we put it on the 200. It was a bit trickier on this one because they went all digital on the cameras. So very specific plugs, cable that you really can't get right now. So we've been working with Toyota on trying to get a solution for that. But it is functioning now. Okay. Actually, the lines, everything work out quite well.
Okay. All right. So what is this option about? This is something different. I've never seen anything on any other manufacturer. Kind of like a platform mounting system.
Yeah. So this is our Overland panel. So you can kind of configure this in many different ways. So right now I have the Max Tracks on the back side here. We got the locking door here. That's got gas struts on it. We just have our ARB jack, propane cylinder, fire extinguisher mounted in there. One thing with the Sequoia is if you do need to keep the third row seats, you really don't have any cargo space.
Okay.
So that's why there's a lot of stuff on the outside of this vehicle.
So this is an option you can install. You can, particularly for Sequoia, works well because you can just stuff a bunch.
Yeah,
of stuff.
you can put what I have in there. You can put your recovery gear. You got all kinds of stuff you can put in there.
So earlier today, we did some wheeling on Poison Spider, and we took some pretty hard hits coming off some of the ledges. I mean, the bumpers definitely put in some work all throughout. I mean, it was loud.
Yes, yeah, we've hit it pretty hard.
And that was kind of almost on purpose, right? We're out here testing.
It was, yeah. So one of the big reasons we come out here, we want to beat it up, we want to hit it harder than most of our customers will, is especially on the new vehicle, we have already found that the body mounts are a lot squishier than even the previous generation. So it moves a lot. So we've found some things we do need to change. We've actually come in contact with the tailgate there. We got a good 3/4 gap. Normally we leave less than that. We don't get any contact. So we're gonna actually have to make some larger gaps, make sure we don't get contact there.
So does this truck body flex more than like let's say a Land Cruiser 100 series, 200 series?
It does, yeah. It flexes a lot. We can get I've seen close to 1.5 inch variance from one side to the other when it's flexing out.
Well, it's a big truck. It's got a lot to move.
Yeah, and a lot of that's part of the ride. They put squishier body mounts in and plush it up a bit. Mm-hmm.
Right on. Okay, so being a TRD Pro model, I believe it comes slightly lifted from factory. Is that right?
The Sequoia, I'm not sure. I know the Tundra does. To me, the Sequoia looked about the same, but it might be a little bit higher, half inch or so.
Okay, well, in this case, the truck is obviously lifted. There's plenty of clearance for 250s, pretty big 37s. This isn't something that you grown into just right off the bat, decided to go with this tire size?
No, yeah, so we got some prototype stuff from Dobinson's in the rear. It's actually a lot of 300 series components, so we've been playing around with what spring rates to use. We are running a bit heavier spring rate, so they're going to have to play with the numbers a bit. But yeah, this tire, it still runs. It's not quite as small as a BFG. It's kind of a mid 37, I would say. It's not the biggest, not the smallest. I think we were on a 0 offset, which is a bit more aggressive than most go with. Which does make it a little more tricky to fit the 37s on there. We're still fitting them. We still got some trimming to do, but for the most part, we're pretty close. We're getting the rear dialed in. We got a little more to do on the front.
Okay, so the rear suspension, that's not something that's available quite yet. This is a prototype stuff from Dobinson. So 300 series, Land Cruiser 300 series, which is not available in US. Rear coils and the MRR shocks with the resi adjusters in the back.
Right.
Okay. How do you like the ride so far?
So far, I've been pretty impressed with it.
Nice.
Can't wait to get the front dialed in with their prototype stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So moving on to the front, that's lifted with a spacer lift from Westcott Design. So Jeff's been making a lot of stuff for late model Toyotas, particularly everything that's TRD related. So this is just a spacer lift with the factory Fox suspension in the front?
Correct, yep.
Okay. So as far as the alignment specs and everything comes in fairly straight, I mean, drive's good. It's nothing.
Yeah, drive's good. Actually, you guys did the alignment and put the suspension on, so it. I know he actually got pretty good numbers. I think we got some good caster numbers, and I've been talking with Toyota a little bit while we're out here, and it sounds like they're going to send me some of their billet upper control arms when they're finalized as well.
Yeah, that's one thing when we do is with almost anything that's over 2 inches of lift requires a set of upper control arms, but for this particular application, it worked quite well. Like the numbers were still good, it's still within spec, and drive straight. This feels pretty balanced.
Yeah.
All right, so the wheels. I noticed you got 2 valve stems going on here. So what's going on with these with this wheel setup? Yeah,
so the wheels are from Alpha Equipped. But we got just our standard rubber valve stem here, and this is a Apex Rapid valve. So that's a deflator. Literally, you can air these down in a matter of seconds. It's also nice too because as you're airing up, these valves actually air up a little bit faster as well.
Okay.
So the air will go in them a bit faster. We use the 4-tire inflator kit from Moreflate, and I can fill all 4 tires up from 10 to 45 in 4 minutes.
Does this require any sort of adapter to hook up?
Are you talking about on Moreflate?
Well, just anything to air up to. Is there?
So actually, yeah, Moreflate's new kit has a special valve that works with these apex valves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so before they were too long, I believe, so they went a shorter.
So deflate faster and inflate faster.
Correct.
Nice. Okay. How do you like these Recon grapplers? That's also something new from Nitto.
It is, yeah. So far, I've been pretty impressed. I've had them in mud, I've had them in snow, and obviously out here in the rock, they clean out good. The mud clears good, the snow clears good. They're quiet.
Yeah,
nice.
We climbed some pretty gnarly obstacles in this thing, and it just bites, just grabs on really well.
Yeah. So the only thing I can't speak to yet is the longevity, but we'll see.
All right, so driving down the road, I mean, clearly we got a lot of light going on. We got rigid lights in the bumper. We got rigid lights for fogs. You have your factory light. And then you got some more lighting on top. What are these?
Yeah, so that's the rigid 360s with their new Amber Pro covers. We went with the covers just because I didn't necessarily want amber all the time. So amber's what they're pushing right now. It works really good in the weather, really good in the dust, less fatigue. But those do just clip off and we can go back to white.
Okay, and the roof rack, that's also you guys. That's like, I can see it's like a modular setup. Everything just mounted to that.
Correct, yeah, so it's all aluminum. The rack itself is only about 50 pounds. Again, Sequoia was a bit tricky with how it mounts, so we are testing that. So far, we've been happy with how everything's performing.
How does the rack mount? Does it use like a factory mounting location?
It uses the factory mounting locations, but they only gave us 2 on each side. So on the Land Cruiser, we got 4 factory mounting bolts. So it's actually, we got a full surface foot up front here that goes in the gutter, and then the rack is actually preloaded at this mount to put
press
pressure
on against
there.
Okay.
So yeah, so far it's been pretty solid, even though that's literally cantilevered all the way from here forward. It doesn't move.
Driving down the road, there's no vibration. Or anything.
No vibration.
Nice.
We got in some pretty good headwinds on the drive here, and
nice. Well, it's holding up the GFC tent. You got a couple of roam boxes in there. What is this right here? This is something different. I don't think I've seen this before.
Yeah, so that was something we kind of whipped up custom. We may put it in production if anyone else is interested. But again, due to the lack of space, I've got the cases on top, but I didn't want them sitting on top of a load bar. So this lets us drop those cases down. When we remove the cases, we got a usable load bar for strapping other items, kayaks, mountain bikes, whatever, to on the top.
Very nice. Some scene lighting all around.
Yep, rigid spreaders. So these are white with an amber halo.
I like that amber, by the way. The amber's cool.
Yeah, and we can actually adjust those out. So even when you're driving, having them pointing straight out, you get pretty good 360 lighting. At camp, you can point them down so they're not right in your face.
Nice. So all the lighting, all those additional accessories are, I saw you have a Switch Pro inside. Everything's
Switch Pro
ran
inside,
through that.
Yep.
So how was it hooking all these electronics being a hybrid? How does that work? Was it pretty easy, pretty straightforward? Get everything connected?
It was a pain in the butt. Yeah, we're still figuring it out. We've had some words we're actually out here with Toyota a bit, talking with some engineers, so that's been quite helpful. But
just give us some terminals under the hood. Let's just go back to traditional battery.
there's no battery under the hood. It's all the way in that back. Actually, this panel, or no, the other panel there.
So to hook up a winch,
we got all kinds of current draw sensors.
You got to run it to the trunk. So
yeah, and actually that's something we incorporated into the slider is wire cable management. So all of our winch wires are ran up under that boat side and up through the wheel arch and into the battery tray.
So future of Overland, you hook up a winch, you got to run your wiring through the slider to your trunk.
Yeah, it was a solid full day deal just to wire the winch in. And we're still playing with that. I think we got it set up pretty well, but again, lots of sensors, lots of current draw sensors hooked to the battery that you cannot actually hook directly to. So we had to put a bunch of solenoids and all kinds of stuff in there to make it work.
Nice. So being here in Moab, how are you liking the truck? How is it doing off-road? This is a true body on frame 4x4 rear locker. How do you like the way it's handling the trails with all the weight, with all the additional accessories and mods?
Yeah, so far I've been pretty impressed with it. Only thing tough to get used to is the size. It is big. It's about the size of my F2
school bus.
Yeah, F250 on 40s, same width.
Yeah.
Tricky part is it doesn't actually feel that big in the cabin because those body panels are thick. I mean, we got that much room inside there. So the cabin's still not much bigger than the 200.
So somewhat kind of like a bigger 200 series. Is that like something compared to?
Yeah, like bigger 200, but so far it's gone up everywhere we've pointed it. So
I saw we're going through a little squeeze. You got a little love tap going on here.
We did. Yeah. That was. I blame that on the spotters.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Spotters. Yeah,
No,
that guy.
Yeah, we again the size, but also that's we're probably going to stick these sliders out another inch and a half. You can see this hit was at the same time.
Yeah, this is yeah, exactly. It's clipped on top of the slider, so that just shows you kind of wheeling it, testing it gets done.
Yeah, and if we would have been out another inch and a half, we would not have contacted the door there. So
yeah, that's one thing I noticed with my sliders, which are built in similar style. Just having that extra width, it allows you to pivot and kind of pivot around rocks and maneuver yourself through.
Right. Yeah, the idea with going a little narrower was because the truck is so big, but
it looks good. It
does look good, but if you want to keep the rocks off the body panels, a little bit wider is definitely going to be the way to go.
Okay, all right. Well, bumper's done, rear bumper's done, sliders are on. You got all skids, you got the rack, you got the lights. Is there anything else that's coming from Dissent in the future? Is there anything else that can be added to this truck?
No, I mean it's kind of the full package there. So far, I've been pretty happy with the testing. I've not really seen anything other than that body gap, knowing we need to get a little more body gap there. Anything will change structurally, so pretty happy with how everything's working out.
Nice.
Again, time will tell if the market's going to be there, how many of them are actually out there building them to do this.
Well, it's just a matter of time. They're kind of still getting hard to get a hold of, but there's more and more of them on the road, so people will get antsy, especially after seeing this thing.
Right.
Well, it's been absolutely epic wheeling here with this legendary Sequoia. Ben, thank you for bringing this thing out. We had a great time. To finish this episode off, we're going to continue our tradition with this rig check badge. There you go, Ben. Thank you so much.
Cool, thank you.
Get this thing mounted.
Gotta slap it.
Yeah,
slap it?
Yeah, you gotta. You gotta put your work into it. Bam! That's where our Flex Seal guy comes in.
Oh, nice.
All right, so where can people find more information about this truck, get a hold of Dissent, get some more info, or if they want to buy it, how can they find you?
Yeah, best place is our website, dissentoffroad.com, Instagram, just Dissent Offroad. Also, we'll have a lot of cool content in the coming weeks of this being used and abused out here in Moab, so stay tuned for that.
You heard the man, Dissent Offroad, Dissent on Instagram.
Oh, shoot. We got YouTube.
YouTube. Check out the YouTube.
Yeah, check out our YouTube.
Well, shout out your YouTube.
I don't even know what, I guess it's just Dissent Offroad.
They'll find it.
Just gonna check.
Hey, these are the people that do the crazy YouTube channel, huh?
It is, yeah. I think they're going to be hanging out with us.
No. You mean you're going to be hanging out with them?
Bro, do they know? Do they know? I don't think they know. They don't know. They're about to find out.